threatening.
And Gurton with the lead.
It's Titans point.
No, hey, what a great crossing pattern. I tell you, finding himself all alone up the seam was Ryan Conley.
Shot and a goal. And the Titans are on the board.
Leckletter. Oh, I tell you, she's a beast.
Up and running, and look at that.
Bang.
He's in there.
Shot score! You can see it all setting up.
You sure could.
North sets it up, and a killer winner.
And here comes the Donna, all lined up. It's nothing but goal there, right there.
Oh, my goodness.
You'll watch it back on Nashua ETV.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rivier University for Battle of the Bridge Softball 2025. I'm John Collins, along with Tom King, our executive producer, Pete Johnson, and Dylan Smith on camera as we get set for South versus North girls softball. The Battle of the Bridge itself is basically decided. It was 7-2 in favor of South, so this game won't tip the balance in that way, but it is a game in which North hopes to get on the winning side for the first time this season. They have unfortunately not gotten into the winning column, including in their highest scoring game yet, which just occurred this past Thursday against Alvern. They lost 11-10, kind of a heartbreaker there after struggling to score runs throughout the season, to break out with 10 runs last week, but not able to get one more than Alvern, who got the victory in that one. South, meantime, has had a mixed bag. They've had some big wins, lopsided wins, and also some lopsided losses. A couple of close games mixed in against Exeter and Dover. We'll see what today brings. The first pitch of the game tossed by right-hander Taylor Joyle for North as she faces Brooke Berger. South's junior center fielder swings away and fouls it to the left. Quite similar rules to baseball in many respects, but instead of a designated hitter, we have a designated player in the South lineup. South acting as the visiting team, although they were the home team in most of the Battle of the Bridges. That's a line drive single all the way to right center. Looking for two, turning the corner. Brooke Berger with that great speed. She's going for three, and she will get there. She hit a gap shot, made it all the way to the wall in right center, and Brooke Berger ends up on third base to begin things in Battle of the Bridge Softball 2025. A well-struck line drive, kind of a middle-of-the-plate straight one there from Taylor Joyle, and Brooke Berger did not miss it. So she's on third base, and the two-hitter is the catcher, Malia Richer-Valentin, who swings away. It's a swinging bunt. It's a fair ball first base side, and not wanting to take any chances with nobody out, Brooke Berger stays put at third base. So it's one unassisted. Taylor Joyle, quick off the mound, quick as a cat, picked it up and tagged out the batter runner. Malia had no chance to get past her before Taylor had the ball and the tag. So one out, kind of jams the three-hitter, shortstop Cara LeBlond, batting in a key spot here. She wants to put the ball in play, perhaps somewhere else than back to the pitcher, so she can get that lead runner home. And the pitch is high for ball one. So 1 ball, 1 strike is the count to junior shortstop Cara LeBlond. North is playing in at the corners at first and third, but if Cara can hit the ball to either the second baseman or the shortstop, she probably will get a run batted in, if not an infield hit out of it. So it's up to Cara to try to put this ball in play now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on third. The pitch swung on and missed. It's in the dirt, and that's going to allow Brooke Berger to scramble home from third base. Taylor Joyle did what she needed to do. She got the strikeout, but the ball was skipped off the plate, and it was too tough to handle for Hope Blondin, and it kicked off to her right. Brooke Berger alertly scores the first run of the game for Nashua South. A leadoff triple followed by scoring on a wild pitch. So even though that was a strikeout, it's not an out. It's still 1 out in the inning, and that's off the netting. The 4-hitter swinging away on the first pitch is Kate Marvin, will handle the pitching duties for Nashua South as well. Can't miss her uniform number. It's right there on her right bicep, or deltoid, I should say. She looks like she's ready to do some business. There was a few famous Major League Baseball players that went sleeveless, and I'm trying to think. Killer, what's his name? He's the first baseman for a long time, I think, with Detroit. Oh, that she took one off the noggin there and doesn't seem to be phased at all. It had a little bit of an arc in it. So hit by pitch, Kate Marvin trots down to first base, and over to second base goes Cara LeBlanc. 2 on, 1 out.
Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play.
Tom King, welcome. You are a busy man coming from one sports venue to another. Best seat in the house, settle in. We have the first half of the first inning, and South is up 1-0. I'm sure you would have set the scene that South is the favorite in this one.
Heavily.
But it is a jam immediately that North finds themselves in, with 2 on and 1 out and 1 run already in. And the batter is Emily Richard, the senior first baseman. It was senior night here tonight, Tom. You missed the introductions of the seniors. There's only one in South to talk about. It was.
Well, I saw a senior for Souhegan hit a walk-off double or whatever you want. It was a walk-off hit. 2 runners on base. Said, don't tie it up. You're down 2-1. Don't tie it up. Either go out, 2 outs, or win it. One or the other. And he won it.
And he won it.
Yep.
In the dirt, and no advance for the runners. Good stop there by Hope Blondin.
North is still building its program,
yeah.
John. I think they're coming a little bit further this year, but
it's
South this is the best South team I've seen,
yeah.
and I'll say after this pitch.
This is a knock hard to center, and it's right at the center fielder. Lexi Ackroyd read it perfectly, Tom. She took a step in and made the play.
All right, so let me go back in time. Last year or 2 years ago, that ball would have been dropped, right?
I witnessed it. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
there were not too many plays made.
But the difference with South this year is if there's a team that's at their level or maybe below it, they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Against the upper echelons, they'll have trouble.
So 2 out now.
I mean, I saw
2 runners on.
I saw them beat Alvern 22-2. So that when's the last time a South team did that? And I, talked to Kevin Handy about that. I said, you remember those days when you were the 2.
That's a nice pitch there from Taylor Joyle. She gets the inside corner at the knees, and it's a 1-1 count now to Charlotte Primo, the sophomore left fielder, in a key spot here. Looked like she was going to bunt at that. It's a strike over the outside sliver, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taylor Joyle's 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam with just the 1 run scored. The hardest hit ball this inning was an out to center. Ground ball to the first baseman, and she makes the play. Well done over there at first base.
Not a bad job to get out of that with just 1 run. Especially with the momentum that Berger set with the leadoff triple. And they started this game early, Pete Johnson.
They kind of did.
6:58 when I was walking up.
That was Hayden Dennehy at first base that made that play, knocked down the hot shot, and stepped on the base. And so, in fact, South only does get the 1 run out of it as we watch Kate Marvin take the mound.
Yeah, Marvin is talking to Kevin Handy a couple of weeks ago, he said that she's really worked towards this spot. She's gotten better every year. She's not a dominant pitcher, but she is somewhere in between in terms of what she can do. And you see the speed. She's not lobbing it over there. So Marvin has had her ups and downs this season, but her ups have been dominant. And that's what Kevin Handy was looking for. You see that, in warm-ups, she's got what it takes. So, and this is a decent defensive team from what I saw earlier in the season when I saw them play. They were able to make some plays.
And a junior-laden team. They should be very good next year.
Exactly.
They're going to miss their first baseman, Emily Richard. No
Yeah, they
doubt,
are,
Tom.
no
You
doubt.
saw that stroke,
Oh, yeah,
the
no
center.
doubt.
But they have
No doubt
reason
about it.
to have hope for next season already.
Yep.
As they improve their skills here through the 2025 season and try to add to what is now, I believe, 3 wins so far this season. Tough loss for North last week. They put up 10 runs against Alvern, but lost by 1.
Right.
That was their biggest outburst of the season. So let's see what kind of momentum they might carry over from that Alvern game as far as scoring runs, Tom, with that 10-run outburst.
And Alvern is in the same boat that North is in. I mean, Alvern's program is basically decimated by over the last couple of years by graduation and everything else, and they got a lot of players who are just trying to learn the game.
Hope Blondin leading off takes a pair of strikes. So getting ahead of the hitter, Kate Marvin, 0-2 on leadoff batter, the catcher for North, Hope Blondin. That's an easy take up and away, so it's 1-2. Certainly Kate trying to up the velocity there and just go for the 3-pitch strikeout, but it was up and away. Kind of overthrew it just a little bit. That one's down the middle, and a good spoil as not letting that one go by. Hope Blondin fouls it off. Beautiful day for sports today in Greater Nashua, Tom.
Yeah,
except
I was
for the
at,
pollen, right?
Except for the pollen, especially here because we're out in the woods.
Yeah.
I was, and it was the game I covered was Souhegan Hollis baseball, but right behind me, and I got some photos of it, was South Souhegan girls lacrosse.
Wow, lots of action.
So right behind me, and South had a chance to tie the game. Souhegan goaltender made a save and was able to almost run out the clock. They called timeout when she was under pressure with 3 seconds left, and they ended up winning the game 13-12.
Ground ball fair inside the third base bag. It kind of climbed up and over the third baseman, Shirley Zhao. It was a really hot shot.
It handcuffed her.
And Hope Blondin's got a leadoff single.
In a major league game, that would be an error, but in a game like this with the hop, I'm gonna give her a hit.
I agree. And a good job by Hope. That was not an easy pitch to make contact on. It was on the inside corner. I believe it would have been called a strike as well. But she was able to make something out of it and gets on base. So 1 on, no out. Taylor Joyal. The 2-hitter for North. Facing.
This isn't Joyal.
No, it isn't. I'm looking at my roster here. Yeah, it's.
This is Neha Lingadal.
Neha Lingadal.
Yes. Yeah, Neha. Yep.
So apparently they shifted the order. Line drive right over the pitcher's head to center. Base hit. So Neha with a line drive. 2 straight hits to begin the ball game. And that'll bring up the second baseman. Sarah Marion.
Sarah Marion. What number is she? She's 13, but I don't have a 13 on the roster. Oh, yes, I do. Yep.
Yeah, so in the roster they gave us, they have designated players, of course, that in baseball they call them designated hitters.
Right.
I believe Taylor Joyal was skipped over here in this starting roster that we got. So maybe she's
the players right under right under there. But I'm surprised Joyal's not hitting.
Yeah, right.
Joyal's their best hitter. She's been their best hitter.
22. Is she on deck? They might have shuffled the
starting
lineup they gave us. Yeah.
John, just go by what the number is when they come to the play.
Yeah.
Plate.
Big swing and a miss. And a much-needed strikeout there.
Yes, it was with 2 on, 2 out. With 2 on and nobody out.
For Kate Marvin. Is 2 out?
No, 2 on, nobody out. So now it's 1 out.
Here's Taylor
And here's
Joyle.
Joyle. Yep,
Okay.
there you go, John.
Yeah, they just shuffled the lineup from what they gave us. But Taylor's batting cleanup here. 1 out, 2 on, and the cleanup hitter, Taylor Joyle, up there. Yeah, they were not going to leave her out of the lineup.
No, not at all.
Game. Key spot here. Needs at least 1 run to tie. That one's a high fly to shallow center. Good jump on the ball by Brooke Berger, and no advance possible.
Well,
2 out.
what I saw when I saw South play is in their outfield, which is pretty expansive, but it does have a fence. They covered a lot of ground in that outfield, and this is I think a little bit smaller than that park. So I expect them to be able to cover a lot of ground here as well. If I'm North, you know what I'm doing? I'm butting the heck out of the ball.
Oh, yeah?
I really am, yeah. You know why? Because you force them to. Anytime you force a high school team to make a play, when you force them to make a play,
Yeah.
The odds are in your favor.
That was a generous strike call,
I would,
wanna
it
say.
was, yeah, because it looked outside.
Yeah.
I would put the pressure on this defense.
That's a strike over the inside corner, and quickly 0-2.
Not with Joyle.
Marlissa Trudell.
Not with Joyle. Now she can't. She's 0-2, but
Yeah.
not with Joyle, because Joyle's a power hitter. But I would have let off with. I mean, I would have had her bunt on the first pitch.
That one's high and away.
Because A, I bet you could beat it out, and B, I don't know if South would have been prepared for it. Although.
Strike 3, and out of the jam is
Great
Kate
job.
Marvin.
Yep.
2 strikeouts in the inning. So both teams leave 2 base runners aboard at
And
the
who
end
was
of the
that up,
first
John?
inning.
Who was that?
That was Marlissa Trudell.
Trudell, all right.
Marissa Trudell, rather, the left
Trudell,
fielder.
Yep. All right, John Collins. So now you see me, now you don't.
Yep.
As
Get some great
I'm gonna
shots,
get
hurry
some
back.
photos, and I'll be back probably after an inning.
Excellent. Battle of the Bridge softball. Battle of the Bridge stands at 7-2 in favor of South, according to athletic director Lisa Gingras. She told us before the game this really won't tip the balance either way, but of course North would love to get in the win column against their rivals, the Panthers. As we watch the warm-up tosses of Taylor Joyle for Nashua North. Kevin Handy is the head coach of Nashua South, assisted by Kyra Muse and Evan Schneider. And the North coaching staff. We will head coach Jamie Trudell, assisted by Melissa Palladino and Jen Hall. Saw a lot of pink in the major league games yesterday for Mother's Day, and we're seeing some pink here. As the designated player batting for the right fielder, Nikki Gates will lead off here in the second inning for Nashua South, trying to add to their 1-0 lead. South is the visiting team for the purposes of this evening's game, the only night game in New Hampshire Division I softball on this Monday, May 12, 2025, Battle of the Bridge softball as we watch the first pitch sail high for ball 1 from Taylor Joyle. That one also high, kind of overthrowing it a little bit with the velocity and letting it go late. So Nikki Gates has a 2-0 count. Let's see if she's taking all the way on this one. That's a top of the zone strike. Not the pitch you're looking for if you did give yourself the green light on 2-0. 2 balls, 1 strike. The right fielder for North, Katie Sweeney, is playing really close to the line and deep in right field, and that's where Nikki Gates might have hit that one had she made contact. Instead, swings through it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor Joyle versus Nikki Gates here leading off the second. That's outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count's gone full. Of course, some pitchers chose to wear that face mask. Others do not, but it's definitely advised. least that's true at the college level, that you see a mixed choice on that. That's in the dirt, and it's ball 4. A leadoff walk for Nikki Gates. First walk issued so far this evening by Taylor.
Number 14, Shirley Zhao.
Shirley Zhao steps into the batter's box, a third baseman for Nashua South, getting her first at-bat of this game. Nashua South coming off a 13-0 loss to Salem last week, which was preceded by a big 8-1 win over Bedford. Bedford struggling in girls softball this season. You don't usually see any Bedford teams with a losing record, but that is the case this year in the softball category. There's a bunt in front of the plate. Taylor Joyle pounces, throws to first in time to get the hustling Shirley Zhao, but it is a sacrifice that gets the lead-off runner into scoring position. Down to second goes Nikki Gates. Successful bunt there by Shirley Zhao to move the runner over.
Number 4, Brooke Coskella.
Brooke Coskella is the batter. Brooke, the second baseman, just a freshman, playing in the big game, the Battle of the Bridge game here at Rivier. First pitch swinging, attacking there. It's a big strike zone, so that probably would have been called strike 1, but she fouls it off to the right. Actually bounced on top of the dugout on its way down toward the lacrosse field. One of the highest geographic points in Nashua, if not the highest here, this softball field. That was a strike at the bottom of the zone. Great view beyond the trees. The flag is at half-mast to the right of the field for the passing of former Supreme Court Justice David Souter at the age of 85. Flags at half-mast all over the state of New Hampshire. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brooke Coskella. Swings through it, strike 3. Well-placed high heat from Taylor Joyle that was just too tough to catch up to up there. So Brooke goes down swinging. That's the second out of the inning, and back to the top of the order. Brooke Berger had the nicest hit of the game. A gap shot triple to right center field to lead off the ball game against North. That was one of those. Nice stop in the dust there by Hope Blondin. That was one of those right off the bat, you know, nobody's going to get that one. That is a split the gap shot all the way, and showing off that great speed. Brooke Berger easily in the third. Rips it right at the shortstop, and it knuckles past Naya Lingadal. And it's a base hit to left. It's a double. 2 extra base hits now for Brooke Berger. That was about 90 miles an hour off the bat, it looked like. A rip shot, 2-out RBI single for Brooke Berger, who is now the game's only run, one of 2 runs scored. And it looks like, is Brooke Berger got a Panther mask on? That's pretty cool. That's like a real Panther just hit that. How about that? That's a good luck outfit there, or disguise. Can't disguise what a great hitter looks like on those 2 swings, the gap shot to right center and the knuckling line drive that dipped past the shortstop. 2-0, South leads it as the ball in the dirt climbs up and over the catcher, and advancing quickly to third is Berger. Now she's only about 45 feet away down the third baseline. 60 feet away, excuse me, down the third baseline. 45 feet to the mound of the rubber here in softball. Taylor Joyle's pitch just outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Taylor would really like to keep this third run from scoring here. She's 1 out away from getting out of trouble. Pop up in the infield, behind the infield is going to fall. Base hit to left center, and an RBI with 2 outs by Mylea Ricker-Valentin. Mylea Ricker-Valentin, the catcher, coming through for Nashua South. 3-0, they lead it, as scoring for the second time is Brooke Berger. She scored 2 of the 3 runs and knocked in the other with a run batted in.
Now running at first base, number 23, C.J. Oro.
C.J. Oro comes in to run for the catcher. That keeps the game moving along, so the catcher gets to put their gear on with 2 out. That one goes to the backstop. That was a wild pitch all the way. And scampering down to second base is the pinch runner. Cara LeBlond. She reached on an error or a pass ball after her strikeout last time. This one's a line drive that gets past the third baseman. They'll hold the runner at third, and into second base goes Cara LeBlond. Another hot shot. Another too hot to handle liner off the bat of a South hitter. Opportunities for outs, but not converted by the North defenders. So the inning continues. It's 3-0, and 2 runners are now in scoring position for the dangerous hitter Kate Marvin, the starting pitcher for South, in a position to, as they say, help herself gain an even bigger lead. First pitch strike from Taylor Joyle, up high. Kate Marvin was hit in the helmet by a pitch in her first plate appearance, and came around to score the game's second run. Ground ball to the left side, and actually, no, Kate got stranded on the bases. It was 2 runs in this inning. Nikki Gates and Brooke Berger. Gates was knocked home by Brooke. Good low pitch there, and strike 3 as Kate Marvin swings through one, and so Taylor Joyle does strand a base runner at third. But 2 runs are in for South in the inning, and they lead this one 3-0 as we get an even better look at the Panther mask of Brooke Berger, who's the star of the game so far, with 2 extra base hits, 2 runs scored, and a run batted in as she goes back to her position in straightaway center field. John Collins with Tom King. You're watching Battle of the Bridge Softball. We'll take a break here at Rivier. Thank you. All right.
Hi. Mom, somebody said hi. Hi. Hi.
Welcome back to Rivier University. Battle of the Bridge girls softball for 2025 on a Monday night, May 12th. South enjoying a 3-0 lead as we move along to the bottom of the second inning. North acting as the home team in this one. Throwing a lot of strikes is Kate Marvin, and there's another to begin things here in the bottom of the second inning. Swinging right through that one. North's number 23, Hayden Dennehy, with leadoff duty here in the second. That one had some spin on it. They call it strike 3. It looked like it might have been a ball width or 2 off the plate, but a generous strike 3 looking, and 1 up, 1 down here in the second inning.
Number 17, Lexi Ackroyd.
Lexi Ackroyd getting her first at bat of the evening. Lexi playing center field has made one fine catch in this game on a line drive off the bat of Emily Richard over at first base. Looks at a first pitch strike from Kate Marvin, who's been almost all strikes so far. No walks issued. Pitch in the dirt, right down the middle, but didn't get there. And nice block behind the plate by Mylea Richard Valentin. Kind of a late swing there on a heater inside corner. 2 strikeouts to begin the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Savannah Preston Teixeira in the 9th spot in the order. Trying to get on base to start something here with her team down 3-0. As we mentioned, there's been a really tough go offensively for North this season. They had a huge outburst on this past Thursday. 4 days ago, they scored 10 against Alvern, but otherwise they've been shut out 6 times this season and had scored a grand total of 5 runs through 8 games before last week. That's a ball just off the plate outside. 2-0 is the count. Certainly after striking out the ballpark, it felt like. Kate Marvin does not want to issue a walk to the 9-hitter and makes Savannah go after that one. It's 2-1. She swung through that. Fastball. And then another strike delivered right down the middle. Lights are on here at the Rivier softball facility, although we're still really operating with daylight. One of the longer days of the year as we near the summer solstice time here on May 12th. For the next month or so, the days will get longer. Savannah Preston Teixeira hoping this at bat goes longer as she's ahead in the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so it's a payoff pitch here from Joyelle. That's strike 3. That was a perfect pitch on the outside corner to avoid the walk. In fact, it's a 3-strikeout inning for Kate Marvin. Very impressive there. She got 2 of the batters looking at strike 3. We'll go to the top of the 3rd. South will be up when we resume here at Rivier. Emily Richard draws leadoff duty for Nashua South here in the top of the 3rd inning. Emily with maybe the highest velocity liner of the game so far, right into the center fielder's glove her first time up. Only senior in the South lineup. And her dad, Keith Richard, principal of Nashua High South, no doubt in attendance somewhere here this evening. You see him right there? He said Pete Johnson points him out in the crowd. One player who probably doesn't mind going down to the principal's office just to say hi. There's a high fastball that misses off the top of the glove of catcher Hope Blondin. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Keep your eye on here. Emily Richard just looking for a pitch she can drive. And right at the third baseman. Bad luck in this game. Emily Richards got to be so frustrated. 2 line drives and 2 outs. Atom balls right at them, as they say. Center fielder, now the third baseman, Savannah Preston Teixeira with a nice play. Kind of laughing about it. It's like, you know, the hot corner. And sure enough, right at her. 1 up, 1 line drive, and 1 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. And the next batter, Charlotte Primo, grounded out to the first baseman, unassisted her first time up. That one is in the dirt. Taylor Joyal has 3 strikeouts so far. They had a big strikeout of her counterpart, Kate Marvin, to end the previous inning. Line drive, is it fair or foul? It's slicing foul. Pretty decent foul territory in the outfield areas here at Rivier. You can make a play up to, looks like 30 feet outside the fair line. And the 1-2 pitch is in, actually bounced off the batter, and she's going to get awarded first base. So that is a hit by pitch. Charlotte Primo is aboard with 1 out in the 3rd. Nikki Gates walked and scored in the 2nd inning. She was leading off that inning. She got sacrificed over to second base, and then with 2 out, Brooke Berger lined a ball past the shortstop to bring her home. So there's a strike. Good pitch there from Taylor Joyal, kind of handcuffing the hitter, and nothing much that Nikki Gates wanted to do. That watch that one go by and hope for a better one to drive here on 0-1. She gets one out over the plate. Good job on the first pitch on a strike. A short hop line drive by the shortstop, Nia Lingadal, and she gets the force out at second base. Kind of hesitated to throw to second there a bit. And maybe a generous out call at second, but the good defensive play was made, and it is the 2nd out of the 3rd inning. Fielder's choice, pop-up. Shortstop's ball, Nia Lingadal catches it. Nia Lingadal with 2 nice plays, and that is 3 outs in the inning. North seems to surprise themselves there in that frame as they escape with no damage. A couple of nice defensive plays by shortstop and third baseman in that one. 3-0 South leads it as we go to the bottom of the 3rd here at Rivier. Battle of the Bridge Softball 2025 on a Monday evening here at Rivier, to be followed by Battle of the Bridge Baseball later in the week on a Friday night at Holman Stadium. Get your stadium right. Holman Stadium will be back to play some baseball, South versus North. First pitch of the bottom of the 3rd inning to North batter Hope Blondin as a strike over the inside corner. Hope Blondin singled inside the third base bag her first time up. That one's in the dirt. kind of working her inside, it feels like, is Kate Marvin. South pitcher has yet to surrender a run, and she has struck out 5 of the first 9 batters through the order. Back to the top of the order here. This is Hope Blondin, hoping to get a piece of that one, but it's a fastball that she swung through, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just pounding the strike zone with velocity most of the time is Kate Marvin. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Kate Marvin has 6 strikeouts now. As she works with 1 out in the 3rd. High fives from all of her infielders following that put out. Here's number 11. Go back to the top of the order. That was Kate Sweeney that made that out. Excuse me, Kate Sweeney. Batting in the 9 spot. We shifted the order around a bit there for North. So Hope Blondin did not strike out. It is her chance to go 2 for 2 here in her second plate appearance. Pops it behind the catcher, and it's good scramble drill there for Mylea Richer-Valentin, but just couldn't get there. It wasn't all that high of a pop-up. She certainly ran right back in the right direction. So it is senior catcher Hope Blondin versus Kate Marvin, and swings through it. Strike 3. So a 3-pitch strikeout, 2 strikeouts in a row. That is 1, 2, 5, 7 strikeouts now through the first 10 batters for Kate Marvin. Very impressive. First pitch. Foul back to the screen. Another good fastball there from Kate Marvin in a good spot, not just down the middle, but right on the inside corner. Very tough to get a barrel on that. The 0-1 pitch. Strike called over the outer third of the plate. Nia Lingadal, shortstop, made 2 fine plays in the previous inning, trying to stay alive in this at bat and prevent a 3-strikeout inning, third 3-strikeout inning in a row. Gets a piece of it, and it almost gets a piece of Tom King. The netting indented as far as you can see. Tom is standing right behind the netting. He's actually not safe there. That foul ball just proved it. He was lucky it wasn't right at him, because it would have indented the net enough to hit him. That's a strike 3 inside corner. 6 strikeouts in a row for Kate Marvin as we go to the 4th inning. She's putting up the goose eggs as we move along and battle the bridge softball here at Rivier. Nashua South is up 3-0. Dodged a bullet, Tom
Yes,
King.
I did.
Down behind the backstop. Actually, it was
I traded not getting elected Pope for surviving that foul ball.
So prayers answered in that way.
Exactly.
How about Kate Marvin, Tom? She has struck
Mowing
out
down Marvin.
7 in a row strikeouts.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I have here. Started with Marlissa Trudell. She's threatening to go right through the order and strike everybody out. She's got 2 batters to go next inning to make it 9 in a row. Not too shabby of a job by Taylor Joyle, meanwhile.
Well, Joyle is going to put the bat on the ball.
Oh, yeah, but we got her pitching, too. She's got her share of strikeouts.
Right. This is the best I've seen Marvin pitch.
Yeah, Marvin is true. She's on tonight.
But, South isn't exactly, tearing the cover off the ball.
No.
So.
And a couple of fine defensive plays last inning for the left side of the infield for North to put up a 0 in that frame, hoping to do it again at the expense of the South batters. That one's in the dirt and taking it for ball 2, 2-0.
And if South wins, I think it's something like 8-2 in the Battle of the Bridge. It's big time, you know.
Very, very one-sided, unfortunately.
It's not much of a battle.
That one also in the dirt. So way ahead in the count is freshman second baseman Brooke Koskela, and she is the 9 spot in the order. So
in fact, on Wednesday when we did the lacrosse game, they won 6 games that day. They took tennis, they took 2 lacrosse, JV lacrosses, and they took 2 varsity lacrosses.
Hugely productive record-setting day.
Jeez, I've never seen that.
That many victories in one day. So this does not bode well if you want to avoid a big inning. You walk the 9-hitter and get back to this.
You got Brooke
Berger, the star of the game so far. 2 extra base hits and 2 runs scored and a run batted in.
Yep.
Kind of a delayed steal there. Down to second goes.
Well, ball went off. Pass ball.
She read it well.
More of a pass ball.
Pass ball and in scoring position. Brooke Berger started off the game with a gap shot to right center, made it into an easy triple with her speed, and scored on a wild pitch.
You see what I mean about the crowd. This is the biggest crowd these kids will play in front of. It's
making some noise,
great,
too.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. Really is.
That one skips. Good stop by catcher Hope Blondin. Staying at second base is Brooke Koskela. Brooke Berger looking like she wants to hit for the cycle tonight, and she takes a walk instead. No.
And taking third on the walk.
Yeah, you don't see that very much.
No, you don't.
Alert base running there by Koskela. She's at third base with nobody out. Malia Richer-Valentin has been up twice already, grounded back to the pitcher unassisted, a swinging bunt. She was tagged out on the baseline, and she singled. Malia Richer-Valentin. Runner goes, line drive, snagged by the shortstop. What a play by Nia Lingendahl.
And a double
play at first. Oh, the defensive play of the year for the Titans.
No doubt about it. I mean,
wow.
She grabbed another snow cone earlier in the game.
She did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a couple of innings that Nia Lingendahl has had.
That is a great play, and especially when you see where this program is at. That's not a play they make a year ago or 2 years ago. That is a fabulous play. She got it, and then everybody was telling her, throw to first, and she did. She got it right over there. She threw a strike to first base.
Perfect throw, and she got one of the best base runners in this game in Brooke Berger.
Brooke Berger, right.
Tremendous play by North. Will they get out of this inning with another 0? It's up to Malia Richer-Valentin, the hitter, who's got to be just shocked as anybody that she went from batting with nobody out, runners on the corners, Tom, to 2 out.
Now we're watching a kid who 3 years ago was a first baseman who's pitching right now. She was a first baseman.
Yeah.
I don't think she pitched last year. She caught last year, I think. I mean, she's been all over the field. She's a good softball player, good athlete, played volleyball.
So 2 outs is Cara LeBlond. Swings and misses at the 3-0 pitch.
Well, it's a good pitch, a good 3-0 pitch, low.
Yeah.
Where you really can't, try to, and had a little velocity to it.
Cara reached on a pass ball of a strikeout and also singled. Third time up here. Ground ball, third baseman. Up with it, throws fast to first and
beat it out.
Beat
Safe.
it out.
Infield hit.
Great hustle by Cara LeBlond. She was a half step ahead of the throw, and it's an RBI single. It's a 4-0 Nashua South lead. As the leadoff batter, Brooke Koskela, does in fact come to score, and it was just that close to get her home. Now here is Kate Marvin, who Taylor Joyle struck out her last time up. She also took one off the noggin her first time up. Got hit by a pitch.
See, she took one off the head. It was no problem.
Yeah. Had a little bit of an arc in it, but she certainly wasn't phased. I like that purple bat she's wielding right there. And that's in the dirt.
She's into it.
Yeah.
No question about it. She's pitching like she's into it. She's playing like she's into it.
Ted Kluszewski, I think, was the famous sleeveless slugger back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s in old-timey baseball. It's a great look, actually, if you can pull it off. And you can't miss her uniform number there on the 7 on her right arm, which has produced many, many strikeouts as the pitcher, the starting pitcher in this game for South. Scampering down to second base on the wild one was Cara LeBlanc. That's a strike. 3-1 is the count. Measuring where that pitch was there really quick. Don't want to leave it out there that long, but it's in the dirt. That's ball 4. So first and second with 2 outs. Kate Marvin's been on base twice in this one now.
The first baseman, number 25.
Gonna have a substitution. I think Marvin is not gonna run. I don't think they're gonna have a pinch runner. Yep. Pinch runner for South.
Number 16, Alexa Ross.
Yep. Alexa Ross is going in for Marvin to run. Marvin will re-enter.
Emily Richard, ground ball left
Gotta
side.
make a play. Oh.
And into left field. 1 run is in. They're going to send the second runner. That was aggressive, but it was the right move.
It was.
2-run score.
2-run
on
score
the hard
on. Yeah, it's an
knock
error.
to
That
the
was
left
right
side.
there. She's got to knock it down or whatever. She let it go off her body, and it goes in there, and it allows the run to score.
So that's baseball, that's softball as well. You hit 2 line drive outs. Emily Richard hit one of the hardest hit out balls of the game as center, then one to third, and then what she would tell you is her least effective contact produces 2 runs batted in. That's the way it goes. The bounces. 6-0. South leads.
You have to take the RBIs away because that was a playable ball, and you got to make that play
That's
at third
true.
base.
Yep.
1 hop. And then you could probably
Line drive, base hit all the way to right, and that gets by the right fielder. You could tell that was going to be problems.
Yep.
Speeding around, Charlotte Primo is thinking about coming all the way, and she will. It's going to be an inside the park home run.
Well, it's not quite going to be an inside the park home run. That's a single and an error. That went right by the outfielder.
You have heard it from the official scorer.
Yeah, that's a single and an error. Sorry. Can't give her an inside the parker.
But certainly the crowd enjoyed it as if it was an inside the park home run. Just watching Charlotte Primo scamper around the bases was a treat. And it shows up on the scoreboard as 8-0.
Yeah, 8-zip.
Yeah.
And by the way, we get within 4 runs of it. The mercy rule is 12.
Okay.
But not before the 5th inning. Okay.
Yep.
So in other words, North will have at least two at bats left in this game.
Okay.
And see if South can get 4 more runs, but
yeah,
that's the mercy rule is 12 runs.
Gotcha.
10 in baseball, 12 in softball.
So Charlotte Primo left nobody on base, not even herself, as that ball's fouled back to the netting.
But what did South do in
this?
Gates. What did South do in this situation, John? They put the ball in play.
Yeah, they did.
You know, that's just it. Put the ball in play. Make them make a play.
It's such a shame for North after that tremendous defensive play of the year.
Double play, and then
not able to get that third out.
Two big errors.
Yeah, 2 big errors.
You know, I mean, it was a base hit all the way, but I mean, you let the ball get by you.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
all the way to the wall. All the way to the wall. It's
a ground ball in the infield too. They just couldn't get the runner at first
and
base.
it could have been really with 2 errors on that play because throw coming in was mishandled, and that allowed the run to score. So one of the runs to score.
So South working with an 8-0 lead, 2 outs, nobody on.
The thing is, if you're gonna make a mistake, minimize it, right? And North hasn't been able to minimize their mistakes.
Nikki Gates working against Taylor Joyal. Swung on and missed. Taylor gets the strikeout, but the damage done.
Yeah, Joyal probably thought that should have been 5 hitters ago, right? Or 4 hitters ago.
Yeah.
So
5 runs in the inning, 8 runs in the game. South leads it 8-0 here at Rivier as we move along to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to Rivier University. John Collins along with Tom King. Dylan Smith on camera. We have been treated to some great defensive plays and some not so great defensive plays and some terrific pitching as we saw Taylor Joyal finish out that last half inning with a strikeout. And how about the strikeout performance that's going on as we speak? Strike one to the batter by Kate Marvin, Tom. She is threatening to strike out the entire lineup in a row. She's got 7, looking for 8 and 9 here to complete that circuit at North's expense. That one's high. She goes up and gets it. And it's a deep drive caught by the right fielder for South, Maddie Donahue.
you're in the middle of the lineup. You're in the middle of the lineup. So they hit the ball earlier. And
They did, yeah.
So
They were not going to be struck out. That was a pretty good hit
it was.
out there.
And a
to
good
the-
defensive play to make the catch because you're out there. You're thinking it's going to be a strikeout, right?
Yeah, that's Taylor Joyal that's putting them where they ain't.
And I told you Joyal would put the ball in play.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't hit it too hard. You will hit it right at
so
somebody.
you got your 3-4 hitters up. They're there for a reason, and you get a base hit out of it. So now you're getting to the part where you really own the lineup because this part of the lineup has all been strikeout.
Right. Unfortunately true that struggling just to make contact against Kate Marvin. That's a strike called over the outside corner. That was Sarah Marion, I believe, that hit that ball to right field. For North. Two strikes quickly. And 3 strikes in a row. A chance almost there from Marissa Trudell, and she goes down swinging. She's a freshman. She's getting her feet wet in the big game here, Battle of the Bridge. Hayden Dennehy, first baseman for North, steps in there. That one's outside. Ooh, that cannot be called a strike. Nope. You know what? That's when, as a hitter, I have been guilty in the past of saying to the umpire,
Oh, up
he
and
doesn't
in.
need the help.
No.
And that was some help there. But it's 0-2 quickly on first baseman Hayden Dennehy. She's trying to get a bat on this thing. Strike 3. And that does it. Kate Marvin mowing them down, as they say, as we move along to the top of the 5th inning. South trying to add to their 8-0 lead. here at Rivier. Welcome back to Rivier. 8-0 South leads it as we move along to the top of the 5th inning. South putting up a big crooked number last inning despite North mixing in a spectacular line drive double play. Line drive to the shortstop, picked off the runner from first. South persisted and scored a big crooked number. So they're trying to add to it here as we go to the top of the 5th inning.
So Rich McDonough just texted me and says that Girton's done an about face from the game we saw the other day against BC High. They lead the Zavarian brothers down in Westwood, Mass, 13-1.
Wow, that's a flipping a switch there.
Sure is.
Having trouble with those out-of-state opponents, apparently, till now.
Well, I can't remember a bad day for lacrosse or Girton as bad as it was on Thursday.
Yeah.
With,
I'm sure that didn't sit well with the coaches, knowing they could do better.
Not at all.
That one's up and away. Taylor Joyle has thrown a lot of pitches in this one.
Well, it's a big inning for South. If they can put a 4 spot up, they can try to hold North hitless in the bottom of the inning.
High fly, left center. It's a tweener. It's going to get down for a hit. Extra bases.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
going to third.
Look at this.
And, that was a close play.
She's in.
She was in on the slide.
You know what?
Good throw from Nia Lingadal,
She got that right foot right in ahead of the throw. That's what did it for her.
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, it's a great play by Lingadal, and a good throw to get her. But
Shirley Chow with the triple to left center. She was running right out of the box. That's how triples are made. No hesitation, sprinting out of the box.
Oh, yeah.
And even though it was to the left side of the outfield, that's the unusual side to see a triple, she was able to get there, sliding nicely just ahead of a very good throw from Nia Lingadal that nearly got her on the relay.
Lingadal had a great throw.
Yeah, she had that great throw earlier on the double play. And was in. Oh, that's a strike. Jumping back out of the way was.
Zhao gets that right foot right in there, just barely.
Yeah, because it was possible that the third baseman, Savannah Preston Teixeira, she could have caught the ball right on her body, but she caught it and then applied the tag. Just a little tad late. Strike 2 over the outside corner. So working both edges of the plate, Taylor Joyle determined to strand that leadoff runner at third if she can. But it's going to be a tough task with nobody out. Pitch to Zhao is strike 3. Good location, excellent location there from Taylor Joyle. She catches the batter looking. So one out here in the 5th.
How can they keep Berger off base? She's been spaced 3 times.
Yeah. Back to the top of the order. Brooke Berger, who's been tremendous in this, walking 2 extra base hits. Looks at a ball in the dirt. Hope Blonder with a nice pickup. The catcher moving to her right. South has scored on a wild pitch in this game.
Blondin is a veteran. She's played softball, I think, all her, her whole career at North.
Yeah.
So
See
is
what Taylor-
Joyle.
That's above the zone. Brooke Berger takes it.
Joyle's pretty much been the best player on her team all 4 years.
Defensively, offensively. That's high. A bobble by Blondin. No chance to advance for the runner at third. Shirley Zhao. A Monday evening here at Battle of the Bridge Softball. It'll be a Friday evening at Holman Stadium later this week, Friday night.
Let's hope, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Hard hit.
Knocked
Smash
down.
at the third baseman. He's going to throw to first base, and it's a single. RBI single.
RBI, so she knocked it down.
Yeah, that was a smash.
It was a hard hit ball. She did, you know.
So now Brooke Berger, Tom, is one piece of the cycle shy of the cycle. You know which one that is?
Yep.
She's got a double, a triple, and a single, and a walk. Doing it all here. The center fielder for South knocking another run home. 9-0. South leads it. So I mentioned there is a mercy rule in softball. It's a dozen runs after 5 innings. Malia Richer-Valentin batting for the 4th time in this game. She's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Line drive, does it again.
Yep.
Center field, base hit. Going to third on the play is Brooke Berger.
That's the other thing, too, is South is taking advantage of the extra base.
Yeah.
They are running the bases really well.
Yeah.
The shortstop, number 13, Kara LeBlanc.
I mean, this middle of the order is just raked for Nashua South. So
they have
it's a tough part of the order for Joyle to get through.
a lot of hard contact, including from this batter, Kara LeBlanc. The 3-hitter. They put her in the 3rd spot for a reason. You know that. And
Steal
this
second.
one gets away, and
And
both
a run.
runners advance. It's 10-0.
Yep.
Brooke Berger scores easily from third. Not a good pitch there from Joyle. She kind of lost the handle of that and bounced well short of the plate. One that Hope couldn't handle that time, and down to second base goes Malia Richer-Valentin, representing the possible 11th run. Taking that one up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Kara LeBlanc, who, like Brooke Berger, is wearing a Panther mask tonight under her helmet. That one's high.
It's a big game for these kids, and this is the one game they point to on the schedule all season long.
Where the spotlight burns brightest, you
Yep.
might say. The only night game in New Hampshire Division I softball that I saw on the schedule. High fly. This is no man's land, though, and a tough play.
What a
What a
great
catch in
catch.
center field by Lexi Ackroyd. The runner does advance from second to third, tagging up, but a tremendous catch. Low catch probability when that left the bat, but she made the play.
Boy, I'll tell you, for every tough play they've had in the field, they've made great plays. You know?
Making the tough ones.
It's unbelievable.
It is. 2 out. And here's Kate Marvin, who's done her best work on the mound, but she's also been on base a couple of times with a walk and a hit by pitch.
Does that catch saves a run?
Yes, it saves what could have been the mercy
The
rule run.
Well, the 11th run,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, would have put the 12th run on base
Would have put the right.
with only
And
one out.
and probably in scoring position
Yes, yes.
too. She doesn't catch that ball. It probably
Yeah, because
dribbles
the
by her
runner
a
was
little
already
bit.
at first when that was coming down, and
Right.
she would have went to second. Runner might have scored. Yeah. Great play by Lexi Ackroyd. She also robbed Emily Richard earlier in the game in center field for North. Taylor Joyle's pitch is a strike over the outside corner. 3-1 is the count now. Taking all the way was Kate Marvin. Looking she might get walked there. Probably will be swinging in a hitter's count here. The 3-1 pitch. That's high. Ball 4. And here comes Emily Richard.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 25, Emily Richard.
Intimidating figure here. And
Yep, Marvin will be run for once again.
pitcher will come out, and pinch runner will.
I think in softball you can do that.
Yeah.
Baseball, you take somebody out twice. They're
Right.
done.
Right. It's pitcher and catcher, I think, in softball.
Yep.
So Alexa Ross is the runner at first, and here's Emily Richard at the plate facing Taylor Joyal.
Yeah, Roy Richard looks like a hitter, doesn't she, John?
She sure does.
Boy.
A double here could make it a 12-0 game, with North coming to bat in the bottom of the inning, needing maybe to score and keep the game going.
Double guarantees you 11 runs, but you got
I was just
speed
thinking
at pinch runner at first.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's something to see.
With 2 outs, they're off with the crack, and they're at second base now. No throw.
Now a double gives you the 12-0 game.
Or even a single, right?
Yeah, base hit.
Yeah, and
Base
Emily
hit.
Richard's been hitting the ball hard all night.
Yep.
She did get a board on an error by the third baseman last time. That's a mishit. Third baseman has. That's the third out.
That's not going to do it.
No, Taylor Joyal gets the big out. And so it's 3 outs, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. 10-0. Nashua South leads Battle of the Bridge softball here at Rivier. So the player we were just talking about in the break, Tom, Lexi Ackroyd, the center fielder with that spectacular catch. Well, of course, she leads off, right? That's the old baseball adage. Whoever makes a great play.
No. The baseball adage is the player who makes the big play to end the inning usually comes up and leads off.
True, yeah.
She did not make the play to end the
inning.
Sorry, John Collins.
Well, I guess I kind of give a pass on that myself because it did shorten the inning for sure. 2 quick strikes from Kate Marvin, who's been a strikeout machine in this Battle of the Bridge softball game tonight. Missed up and away with that one. 1-2. North batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. They are the home team. Interesting story that Lisa Gingras told us about why North is the home team.
Yeah, I was curious. I thought South would be the home team.
She said last year she made a mistake, and she made the wrong team the home team.
She made South the home team, right?
Yes, so this was to make up for that. And next year, it'll be back on track. So because she's going to leave North the home team again next year. There's another strikeout for Kate Marvin.
So how many we got here? 1. And to end the first, was that a strikeout? I can't read my writing here. No, I don't think it was.
No, it was a ground out to the first baseman.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts.
9 strikeouts, sounds right. Going for double digits here is Kate Marvin as she throws one low.
Question is, what will the weather be for Friday night?
Pete Johnson says supposed to be good.
Supposed to be good. Not a lot. Not what I saw.
No?
No.
We got Regan Campbell as a number 12, our freshman pinch hitter up here against Kate Marvin. That one's outside. So
the winner I got for Friday, and this is the way it was when I looked at it this morning too. Overcast with rain showers at times.
Strike 3. Kate Marvin gets strikeout number 10. 1 out here in the 5th.
But the chance is only 40%. So maybe we're.
Oh, excuse me, 2 outs.
Maybe maybe we can get that one in on Friday night. That's 10 strikeouts now.
Yeah, 2 quick strikeouts here in the 5th inning.
Double-digit strikeouts for Kate Marvin, who has given up hits. 3 hits, I believe.
She had 2 innings already where she struck out the side in order, 1, 2, 3, and
she may do it. Yeah, she's got 2 more pitches to do it again.
Number 16 is Shelley Dubois, sophomore for North. Golfs one to center. It's pretty deep, but it's caught. Brooke Berger having the game. It's not a strikeout, though. Good piece of hitting there by Shelby Dubois, but she's out right at the center fielder, Brooke Berger, where you don't want to hit it if you don't want to be out. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. It is a 10-0 South lead as they're going to come to bat. So we all set on the what was the percent chance of rain Friday?
40%.
40%. Okay.
But showers at times.
I'll still show up to home and tell you what.
Well, I will too.
Yeah. Dan Young's back in the studio. We got Dylan Smith on camera. We got a center field camera. We got Battle of the Bridge girls softball here at Rivier. Welcome back to Rivier. John Collins with Tom King. Tom, we have switched our battery.
We have.
Yes, we have the catchers now the pitcher, and
Taylor,
the pitcher's now the catcher.
I told you, I knew she had caught before.
Yeah. Hope London is your pitcher.
So John Collins, I got a question for you. Have you ever given a call to Pete Johnson?
Yes.
Okay. Has he ever told you he'll call you
Line
back?
drive, base hit.
There you go.
First pitch swinging for South.
Has he ever told you he'll call you back in just a few?
Maybe, yeah, probably in the course of our careers together.
Did he call you back in just a few?
Yeah, he has.
That's good.
I would say.
All right, just curious.
What happened?
Just curious.
What happened? What do you
5 minutes, no call. 10 minutes, no call.
It might have been more than 5 or 10.
15 minutes, no call.
He's a busy man.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Call.
Oh.
That's more than a few.
That is, yeah. All right, yeah. Pete dropped the ball on that one. Why do you have to bury him on the air, though? I mean, like.
Oh, because it's fun to do. It's going to bury anybody.
So
on
what
the air.
happened? Did you guys?
No,
you
I
guys communicate?
texted him. I texted
All right,
him. I
good.
said, I'll tell you. It's what I was going to do in the first place.
Nice.
But, I figured I'd give him a courtesy of a
Yeah.
call, And I can't talk, and he called me back in a few.
Charlotte Primo's swinging a hot bat, Tom. She's the one that had the single that she turned into and inside the park. And that's a gap shot all the way. Going to twist into the opening between the center fielder and the left fielder, and speeding around is Nikki Gates to the second base bag. That's an RBI double. It's 11-0.
That was a shot.
It was a shot. There's almost no baseball or softball game anywhere where you hit a ball like that and it's not a hit, and usually an extra base hit. It's great, a great swing there by Nikki Gates.
Right, Gates with the
that's just
Primo
foul.
with the run, and Gates with the double. Right.
Right, and so one run away. The runner was at second base from dozen.
From getting the 12, but Northa has to have the chance to bat.
Which they would do in the bottom of the sixth
Right.
inning here. So North hitting balls hard. Hope Blondin, the relief pitcher here.
Nice pitch.
Perfect location on the inside.
That is a
corner.
nice pitch.
Yeah.
Just dropped right in there.
And you can't really extend the bat at all.
No,
if you're
handcuffs
right-handed batter.
you got no
Yeah.
choice.
Shirley Zhao awaiting the next offering, puts it in play. Third baseman has it, and she knows what to do with it.
Yes, she does.
Not a force.
She got him.
Not a force. What happened?
That's right. It's no force. There's no force on the play.
But she must have been off the base just
must
enough
have
to
been.
be tagged.
Yep. So tagged out.
The first instinct of Savannah Preston Teixeira was to put her to tag the bag, like a force out.
Right.
But the runner, I think, hesitated just a little bit,
And
thinking
was
maybe
able to-
she's right.
Maybe got her body on her.
Yes,
And that allowed the right.
yeah, Kevin Handy used it as a teaching moment down there.
Oh yeah.
Explaining why, even though the third baseman made a
It's
mistake.
a big teaching moment because it robs us possibly of the 12th run.
Yeah, that's the first out of the inning. And we have Lily Schult, the pinch hitter here, number 24 for South. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Fouls it off to the right, catches some screen, and it's 1-2. Top of the 5th inning. South acting as the visiting team tonight in that first base dugout, where we see the flag at half-mast down there, marking the passing of former U.S. Supreme Court Justice David Souter.
Boy,
of
I'll
New
tell you,
Hampshire.
talk about.
Strike 3.
Whoa!
Down to first. Is it a strike him out, throw him out? No, just getting back safely is Shirley Zhao.
I'll tell you, I had to check when Souter passed. I was like,
Yes, Souter is 85.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
shocked because it seemed like yesterday when he was just appointed.
Appointed, yeah, it was big news in New
Yes.
Hampshire, of course, you know. Not as big as having a Pope come from Chicago, if you're from Chicago, but for a New Hampshire judge to get appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court, that's a big,
huge.
big deal.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
And already passed away, and another life milestone for you and I, Tom, as time flies, you
No
know, it's
kidding.
terrible. Ripped hard, is that fair or
Foul.
foul? Wow, that
Foul
was
ball.
a hot shot off
Sure
the
was.
bat of Brooke Berger, who's thinking, is she thinking 4-bagger here? Does she know? Do they care about the cycle, these players? That would be such an exclamation point hit in her.
They just want to make sure they win the game.
That's
what
true,
That's
yeah.
what they're doing.
Junior center fielder Brooke Berger, the star of the game, or she'd have to share honors, I guess, Kate Marvin at this point with all those strikeouts. That's a strike.
Oh, and an error
Into
on
right
the
field.
throw.
The runner doesn't know. She dove head first into second
yeah,
base.
because she expected a throw to second, so
Yeah.
she dove.
What hustle by Shirley Zhao. Full uniform of dirt. Brooke Berger's still up there. Yes, we had the battery flipped.
Yep, they flip. Yep.
Oh, what that little discussion's about. Maybe the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count against Brooke Berger. Facing Hope Blondin in the dirt. To the
That's
backstop.
going to put the runner at third. If that had come off the backstop any harder, he might have had a play at third base. 90 feet away from run
60.
number 12. Or 60 feet. That's right. Softball, it's 60. Yep.
2 outs. And the pitch. Line drive, base hit to right. What a game Brooke Berger has had. That's the 12th run. She's going to go to second immediately. Oh, another double for Brooke Berger. What a hitter. A 4-hit game for Brooke Berger. She mixed in a walk as well.
4 hits, 5 on base, 5 times, 12-0 to score. That means North has got to
score at least one.
Score at least one, or otherwise the game is over. Berger almost caught off the bag. She was almost halfway, to the point where when you go that far off, you might as well commit to go try to steal third.
And that one's going to be all kinds of trouble. Yep, she's at third base. That one rattled the catcher's mask of Taylor Joyle. Ball 1. Mylea Richer-Valentin standing well forward in the batter's box, by the way. It's a strategy to maybe pick that ball up at the... what a rope to left.
That's what it was, a rope, frozen rope.
And she's going to go into second base ahead of the throw, standing. Good stop out there and left by Marissa Trudell, but getting the job done at 13-0 lead now for South as they come up with big 2-out hits. Kara LeBlanc with another chance to hit.
Well, it was a game, 3-0 for 3 innings.
Yeah.
And you kind of said, okay, this is going to be one of those games. South is... But
of course,
then
the pivotal inning was the 4th, Tom, right? They had the double play. They could have got out of it, maybe with 1 run scored.
And the errors, and they made 3 other errors that
and
allowed
all of a sudden,
runs to
5
score.
runs scored.
Yeah.
Most of them with 2 out.
And we got 2 out here.
Yep. And
They've had trouble with 2 outs in this
outs,
game. They
yep.
haven't been able to nail it down.
It was interesting strategy there by Mylea Richer-Valentin to stand way forward in the box, and she did kind of pick that pitch off the ground. So she went out and got it, as they say. Kara LeBlanc has a 1-2 count here. She's also fairly forward in the box. And that's one nice stop by Taylor Joyle. Of course, with a high velocity fastball pitcher, they might move back a bit. Ground ball, third base,
nice play.
Knocked down. And again, no force play, but they get the tag.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is the 3rd out of the inning.
Yes, it is.
3 runs are in, though, and it's a 13-0 advantage for Nashua High South. North will need to score at least 2 to not get mercy ruled. Short of 7, and back out there to make sure they, maybe get no more runs. Kate Marvin is still pitching, I believe. Yeah, Kate Marvin back to the mound.
Oh, you got to let her
Complete
finish
game.
it out, right?
Well, if you want to divide it up at this point in the game, Tom, your offensive player of the game is Brooke Berger. Your
defensive player of the game is,
Kate Marvin.
Pitcher, Kate Marvin. Yeah, no, you want Marvin to finish this game. She's got 10 strikeouts, I believe. So.
Well, congratulations to Rivier men's lacrosse on a tremendous season.
I'll tell you what, it was a tremendous spring for all the Rivier teams. Even women's lacrosse had a winning record, didn't make a tournament, had a winning record. Baseball, they went on a streak over a 10-day period, a week period. It looked like they were going to be able to make it. They made the tournament. And softball, they were #1 seed in their section where the pod play was right here. And men's lacrosse, but boy, what a difference with Bowdoin, huh?
I heard reports from you and others that Bowdoin was a really good team this year.
Yeah,
but
another level, and they went on and they creamed Amherst too. They beat Riv 28-3, but they creamed Amherst 16 or 15-1.
They're looking like a Final Four type team,
they
right?
They sure are. I mean, they may have a shot. they have a shot at being in Foxborough.
First pitch swing, Hope London. The throw to first is in time. Nice defensive work by Leah Richard Valentin, who throws across the diamond with some velocity there to get the speedy Hope London. One up, one pitch, and one down in the bottom of the 6th inning. So North could be down to their last 2 outs. They could be mercy ruled here, down by more than 12 runs after 5 innings. First pitch strike from Kate Marvin. It seems to be a surprise when she doesn't strike the batter out. She struck out so many tonight in double digits with strikeouts. Line drive to right, sinking fast. It's going to be a base hit. So aboard, North's second hitter up in the inning. Manages to get on base. I believe that was the shortstop, Nia Lingadal, with the base hit to right off the end of the bat, but that's what you wanted in that case. Hitting any harder would be right to the right fielder. This one's in the dirt.
And
big
again,
lead. And
nope, not quite. And again, this is the part of the order, John.
Yeah.
John has been able to hit Marvin a little bit.
Right.
She's dominated 5 through 9.
Sarah Marion, the second baseman for North. She hit a deep fly to right her last time up. Takes a strike over the inside corner. It's 1-1. She'd love to put it in right center here, I'm sure, with Marion. Meanwhile, Marvin seems to be angling for another strikeout. There's a off the end of the cue shot off the end of the bat. 1-2 is the count. Kate Marvin pitching as well as Tom King says he's ever seen her pitch tonight. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Throw to first and trying for a pickoff to end the ball game. 2 out.
So that is 12 strikeouts we got now?
Yep, 12 strikeouts.
Yep, and Joyle is up. So you've got
the iron for North's batting order.
North's best player against South's best player with Marvin. Although Berger can
she hits a home run, Tom, and no mercy roll. Rips it to left center. It's got a chance. No, it gets cut off. Good defensive play by Berger. Who else? And they're going to hold the runners at second and third. A base hit would get him home. Easier said than done. What a nice stroke that time by Taylor Joyal to left center. Brooke Berger got over there in a hurry and cut that off, or it could have been a triple.
Now the home run
or a base hit
would negate the mercy rule. Because it would have been, well, no, that's right. If she hit it, it would have been 11 runs. That's right. You're right. 11 run lead.
He'll get it down to 11.
Right. So base hit here.
Yeah.
We're playing another inning.
So Marissa Trudell, a freshman with the pressure on her here to keep the game alive. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Oh, excuse me, that's only strike 1.
1-1.
1-1 is the count. And Marissa she's a freshman. She has struggled to make contact tonight. Kate Marvin knows it. She's going for the kill here with the fastballs.
Yeah, I think she's just going to keep doing that.
1-2 is the count.
Yep.
This is something that I'm sure Marissa will continue to work on, hitting that velocity, working in the cages. Swung on and missed, strike 3. What an impressive performance by South, and especially their pitcher and center fielder, Kate Marvin and Brooke Berger, with tremendous games to remember here in Battle of the Bridge softball. A 13-0 wipeout of their rivals, Nashua North.
All right, John Collins, we'll see you Friday.
Thank you, Tom King. Thanks to Dan Young back in the studio on replays, Dylan Smith on camera, Pete Johnson, our executive producer, putting all of this together. For Tom King, I'm John Collins. Thank you for watching, and good night from Rivier University, everybody.